Plunged on the outside, along with Mr. Frisbee. It's a photo. Third placing will go to number 8, Come to Chase. Well, Excitability's got a great chance of getting it, but the fact that the judges called for a photo, the photo sign on the frame, means one thing. The fact is it's very, very close indeed, because normally the judge can separate them at a first glance at the image on their projected screen in the judge's box. This has gone very close. Excitability on the outside hit, and Mr. Frisbee hitting the line in almost perfect unison. There's a big difference here because Mr. Frisbee's $39. Excitability's the $1.90 favourite.
Righto, that's a very important photo decision. In fact, the longer it goes, the more chance we get a dead heat. Ron thinks perhaps Excitability. Look at the difference in size in the greyhounds too. If he gets up, it's been a great performance because he was in all sorts of bother. They chopped him off early, cut him off going into the first turn. He's had to go to the outside. He's had to do it the hard way, and if he gets up, it's a well-deserved win, and he thoroughly deserves to be in the Australian Cup final. 30 and 40 and Come to Chase. And I'd like to take short odds too that he'll draw box 1 on the final. He's got just an uncanny ability to draw the red Excitability. And that box draw done later tonight. 30 and 48 the time. Winning margin was just a nose. 1 3/4 between second and third. Now Albion.
Favourite at 250. 690 for Montana Sky. 640 Cyrus the Virus. Greasy Grizzly 680. Almost set. And this is race number 9. The green light is on. They're set for a start now. About to go, semi-final 7 of the Australian Cup. They're racing, and Waterview Star in box number 4 is away, very fast away, quickly. Cyrus the Virus, Cape Reality. Waterview Star caught a little bit wide going to the first turn, now back to the rails, and moving up quickly. Hugo Bale to be third. Cyrus the Virus led Cape Reality, Hugo Bale third. Then Waterview Star followed by Montana Sky. A long way back, Greasy Grizzly over on the outside, and then came Tally Bale and Assassin Gan up to the turn. Cyrus the Virus leader. Cape Reality is coming at it on the outside. Cyrus the Virus in front though. Cape Reality drives Cyrus the Virus from Cape Reality. 4 lengths Montana Sky third, I'd say, but Tally Bale. And behind them then came Hugo Bale, followed by Greasy Grizzly and Waterview Star amongst the tail enders.
Good effort for the Sid Swain trained Cyrus the Virus through to the Australian Cup final, denying Cape Reality, and Montana Sky third. 2-3-1, and we'll get that time for you shortly. 2-3 and 1, and they've run 30 seconds even, so that's the fastest of the semi-winners. Cyrus the Virus. Moving up Newcastle, Blue Gum Forest at 140 over Hanover Pop and Forest Tuck as we head back to Mark.
7 minutes, in fact. It's a wonderful race. It's a tricky race. Adam Hamilton, I reckon we can call this Harness Racing's Melbourne Cup because I think anything can happen.
Well, it's a race that I guess there can be an upset result, or perhaps a lesser fancied horse can beat the proven stars, and you're seeing that tonight because if this was a mobile race, despite, you know, and even if he drew badly, young Rufus, I think he'd be about $1.50 favourite in this race. But you're well,
Martina H, I guess.
Well, that's true, but you're getting well and truly black and white figures in the betting ring. Although he has been the medium of good support. That 20-metre handicap, you mentioned it earlier. It found out Martina H. Well, 10 metres for her, but it's traffic more than the handicap.
Just looking Shaker Maker warming up there. He was bucking. He feels $1 million. Shaker Maker. That wasn't on our Sky Channel screen, but just on the closed circuit. He certainly feels $1 million. Okay, we'll get through these horses one by one. I'm not going to ask Mick about Seals to Sam because he's always derogatory towards that horse. So I'll ask Adam. A wonderful run last year.
Well, but you've got to go back 12 months to find any reason to back him in this race, and no, I can't be on tonight.
Everyone seems to think JB's Flush has at least a place chance. He's $37. Nick?
He's the big trifecta tip in the race. Does step well. Third in the Ben Hur to young Rufus and Wally Walton. I suppose the place odds, he can run third.
The Fall Guy, $15, a comparable quote with bookmakers, Adam. A wonderful horse. He's earned his place here, but he's got a step. He didn't step last week.
Lovely stayer on the rise, but that is a big worry because he's jam-packed in the middle of traffic on that front row. The Fall Guy, he will need to step much better than he did last week, but if he does, he is capable of an upset.
Mick, you know plenty about Country Ways. He is a former Kiwi. He's come a long way in 6 months with Brian Hancock, even less. He's come a long way in 6 weeks.
Yeah, good win in the Geelong Cup, and of course, third here last time the race. He couldn't win. The sectionals were upside down. He should step. He stepped, had 2 standing start races for 2 wins. He is the roughie in the race, although I see in his home state, New South Wales, the money is on.
Yeah, when you say he'll step, it is different in this pressure cooker type atmosphere, isn't it?
Yeah, but he looked very relaxed in the ring. He had a little bit of a Rio when the crowd got to him, but Brian hates standing start big races. He wouldn't be here unless Brian knew he would step.
He is 2 from 2 from stands over in New Zealand, the horse, and that's pretty important to note.
All right, well, that's fair enough, Adam. Past the mustard, he's a roughie.
Yeah, I think he's had his chances in these sort of races before. He's just that 1 notch below them, but deserves his spot in the field.
Well, Montenegro Gold deserves its spot in the field. The only M1 and the worst assessed or the worst graded horse in the race, that's for sure and certain. But boy, his runs have been wonderful, most recently, and included in that the Victoria Cup where he finished third.
That was a huge third too. He is slightly unlucky. Chris Alford looking for the feature race double here tonight, but had lunch with Chris Alford during the week. He didn't sound entirely confident Mont Denver Gold was going to step. This would be a very hard assignment for an M1 after a gallop.
Stop name dropping.
He's the only friend I've got here.
Yeah, that's true. Wally Walton, well, he's had his chance to win these races before, but in saying that, he continues to race well.
Yes, he does. I can't help but think, as I spoke with Matt Gath a little while earlier, you need an uninterrupted preparation, and he hasn't had that, Wally. Too many setbacks. I think probably just a place chance tonight, and the same could be said, just a place chance for Unique Icon, I think.
All right, well, that helps me skip down to Hearts Legend, who, well, I know Andy Gatt's a genius, but this would have to be beyond genius.
Well, I will say one thing. The horse looked sensational in the parade ring. You wouldn't know that he hasn't raced for a couple of months. He's a quality performer, but I think he's always just lacked that little bit of dash at the end of his races, and he was run down after a relatively easy run in the Kilmore Cup at his first real staying test. So as much of a magician as Andy and Kieran are together, I think this would be the training performance of all-time history.
Factor non verba. As far as the Kiwis go, he is so far into the shadow you almost can't see him, but he is only third favourite. Second favourite, actually.
He gets his chance tonight. He's fantastic, wins second in the New Zealand Cup. A very strong fighting third in the Auckland Cup. He has been clearly the second best open class pacer in New Zealand this season. He's very tough. If he leads, even young Rufus will be flat running him down. The question mark, he was stirred up here on the parade ring, and he is unruly. He can miss away. Hasn't missed away for some time, though. If he leads, massive chance to beat young Rufus.
You mentioned question marks and you mentioned unruly, and Baltic Eagle, despite his brilliance, his staying ability, falls under those 2 banners.
Yeah, I just think there's too many ifs and buts with his standing start manners. I mean, when a horse gallops out of a mobile and 2 weeks later has to try and step in the biggest pressure stand start race in Australia, I think it's too big a gamble to take from my point of view. He got out to amazing odds. The bookies gave $10 on track. He's firmed up a couple of points since then, and the 780 on the tote is about right. There's no doubting his talent, but I worry about his manners early.
Well, I think he's clearly the second best horse in the race, but, well, if he's going to miss the stand start, he's got no chance. Smooth Saturn's got 20 metres. It might be too far back, Mick.
Yeah, he had to win here last week. I know the full guy's flying at the moment, but he had his chance to beat him. He couldn't. He's no better off in the handicaps tonight, and he hasn't looked like beating young Rufus all season, or the horses like Double Identity and Joe Fess who aren't here. If he gets the miracle run, yes, he could do it. We know he's good enough, but he's going to need that miracle run.
I'm going to stay with you for young Rufus, because as far as fan clubs go, you are the president, and there's no reason not to be. It's probably the right time of the year to be flying the flag.
I think so. Mark Purdon has been saying virtually outrageous things for Mark Purdon. He's a very modest guy, Mark Purdon. This week he's been saying, horses don't work any better than this horse. I can sit parked in the last lap and win. He's that good. I think he's the best horse in Australasia. Massive quotes coming from the man who sits behind the champ tonight. If he doesn't miss away and doesn't have bad luck, simply he should win because he is in the zone.
All right, well, talking about big quotes, we've got probably 6 seasons worth of them for Shaker Maker. Adam, you'd love to see him win. I can't see it, but what a way to go out.
That's great, isn't it? Heath Redwood just leant across, the trainer-driver of Unique Icon, and shook John Justice's hand. I think there's probably about 15,000 people outside that would like to shake JJ's hand tonight and say, basically, thanks for the memories, and see if you can go out with a big run tonight. In the time that I've followed harness racing, I've been captivated by a lot of wonderful horses, but I think the presence that Shaker Maker has been something special. He's the all-time record stake earner. This will be his last race start here at Moonee Valley. And the locals have lobbed, haven't they? He's been, well, about $12 in 3 or 4 points with the bookies. He's always been skinny on the tote. And just everything about John Justice tonight suggests that this horse is going to run a real bottler. Remember, he's had 2 tries for a third and a second. He may not be the force that he was, but with the exception of young Rufus, I think this is way down on the depth of Hunter Cup fields of the last 2 years.
All right, Mick, we haven't got much more time, so I want you to be as quick as you can be, and your selections.
Young Rufus to beat Factor Non Verba and Country Ways, the value trifecta chance, a horse on the way up.
My selections for what they're worth: 14 on top, place chances, not in any particular order, to 2, 3, 11 and 12. Adam Hamilton.
Young Rufus to beat Factor Non Verba. A lot of respect for JB's flush for a place. Country Ways also. And I have to mention Shaker Maker at least somewhere in the mix.
Well, we know that you are one of his greatest supporters, and I don't mean that in any kind of light-hearted way.
I admit the horse. I love the horse. I love his presence. I love his talent. I love the whole package of him. His name, everything. He's been a little gift from God, if you like, for harness racing over the last 4 or 5 years, and I think everyone should stand and applaud him when he leaves the track in a pretty big style tonight.
Quite amazing too, in the way that he has been such a popular horse, because he's never been a dominant horse. He's been a wonderfully consistent and competitive horse.
But he's been what few horses are in this very, very grueling era of racing, if you like, and that is he's been in the very best races for 5 years in a row. He has been a fixture on the feature race circuit, and people come to love these horses. They pick the fringe dwellers of general sporting public who follow harness racing. You say, name one horse in the sport, the first one they would mention is Shaker Maker, and that's why, with his talent and what he's achieved, that's why he's been such an ornament to the sport, and that's why I guess I got so heated when he was, well, treated like a B grader by Harold Park when it came to Miracle Mile time.
All right, well, I guess the one memory I have of Shaker Maker, and it wasn't when he won, actually. Do you remember the night, his first Victoria Cup during the Interdom 2000 Carnival? He sat outside Christian Cullen and beat him home. You know how hard that was, Mick.
He's a remarkable horse. He's had the bad luck to meet the Christian Cullens, the Courage Under Fires, and yet still has won over $2 million. Fantastic animal, on the way to stud very soon, and this will be the ultimate way to advertise his future stud career. And saying that, looks alone will get him a lot of girlfriends.
Let's actually give him some credit. He's still racing. Christian Cullen and Courage Under Fire are you know, well gone from the racetrack. So, you know, he's probably entitled to be a little bit past his best. But, Sam, we might hand it back to you to give the last betting update from the track. And young Rufus is actually a touch of value at $2.40.
Yeah, but it's thereabouts. There's not much in it. Second favourite on track with bookies. Factor Non Verba has firmed up a point. Baltic Eagle's been out and then back in, 780. Shaker Maker was well into the double figures with bookies, but the tote price always shorter, and well, the sentiment at very least has seen Shaker Maker's bookies price firm 3 points. And then it's Country Ways, who was Mick Guerin's long shot in the race. It's firmed up to almost be around the $10 mark with bookies. They are starting to line up. Let's hope it's a clean getaway. It's very rarely that, but here's Dan Malecki.
But it's been very, very difficult for a pacer to try to do the double in the last half a dozen years or so, and young Rufus will run a warm favourite. Moving up, Group 1 Carlton Draft AG Hunter Cup. And the field are moving up to the tapes. They have a short run to the winning post, and then they travel 3 laps. The distance is 3,050 metres. The 20-metre back markers are coming up to their positions. Smooth Satin and Shaker Maker. Between them have won Inter Dominions, Victoria Cups, Miracle Miles. Young Rufus, Auckland Cup winner. Ben Hur, Victoria Cup. And the big names on the 20-metre line come up. Baltic Eagle off the 10. Now coming up, Country Ways. And the track is being cleared. Tapes release, away they go in the Hunter Cup. Hearts Legend a little bit slow. Seals to Sam galloped out and also breaking past the mustard. Oh, Shaker got checked. Seals to Sam knocks Shaker over. There's more trouble out wide on the track as well. Running into bother. Factor Non Verba broke up. He was poleaxed by Past the Mustard. And into the first bend, the Fall Guy has been able to sprint to an early lead. The Fall Guy takes up the running from JB's Flush. 20 metres away back in third spot. Here's Mont Denver Gold got through the traffic. Unique Icon fourth. Then Baltic Eagle 5th, about 5 metres away, Country Ways. Another 5 metres, Hearts Legend on the inside of Wally Walton. Then Young Rufus. Next is Past the Mustard from Smooth Satin, Shaker Maker, and about 10 metres away then to Seals to Sam, and Facton on Verba was TKO'd and is 200 metres off the lead. Heading off the back, they are well strung out, and the Fall Guy in front with Daryl Douglas is 10 metres clear. JB's Flush is second, 20 metres away third is Montdenver Gold on the inside of Unique Icon, who left the pegs. Then on the inside, Hearts Legend around it was Baltic Eagle, 5 metres Country Ways. Another 5 metres away, Wally Walton. Over on the inside was Past the Mustard. Next is the favourite, Young Rufus. From Smooth Satin, then Shaker Maker, Seals to Sam, and Facton on Verba is 50 metres away. They've completed one lap. Heading down the straight with over 2 circuits left to travel. And the leader is the Fall Guy. 5 metres to JB's Flush. Moving up on the outside, the West Australian Baltic Eagle is now third. Fourth, the Pigs, is Montdenver Gold. Unique Icon now with a cover in the 1-1. Then Hearts Legend, who's 4 back the inside from Country Ways. Past the Mustard, 5 back the inside. Around it, Wally Walton. Then Young Rufus, Seals to Sam, Smooth Satin, Shaker Maker at the back of the pack. And about 50 metres away, Factor Non-Verba. Heading into the back now, they've got 1,600 left to travel. The lead time in 1:54.4. And the Fall Guy leads. Baltic Eagle is second. In third position, JB's Flush has had a nice run. Unique Icon fourth. Montdenver Gold's had a lovely run. He has a big sprint, and he's fifth on the inside. Next is Country Ways on the outside of Hearts Legend. Still no moves. Then came Wally Walton outside, Past the Mustard. Young Rufus yet to go, and he's 5 back the outside, the favourite. Seals to Sam, the Pigs, and then Smooth Satin as Young Rufus comes out 3 wide. And then Shaker Maker, and a long gap to Factor Non-Verba. First quarter in 30 seconds flat. And the Fall Guy is the leader. The Fall Guy 3 metres to Baltic Eagle. JB's Flush has had a lovely smother third. In fourth position, Unique Icon as they get the bell. Young Rufus is moving up 3 deep. 3 back along the inside, Montdenver Gold. And then Country Ways the middle. Smooth Satin 3 wide is tracking up the favourite, Young Rufus. Next on the inside, Hearts Legend. In between runners, Wally Walton. Shaker Maker is 3 wide, 3 back. And then came Past the Mustard on the inside of Seals to Sam, a long gap, Factor Non-Verba. Second quarter, 30.7. The Fall Guy trying to do it all the way. Ahead away second is Baltic Eagle. JB's Flush is third. Unique Icon fourth. Young Rufus is out 3 deep. And then on the inside, Montdenver Gold as Young Rufus is called on. 500 left to travel. And the Fall Guy led 2.5 metres. Baltic Eagle. Unique Icon coming out of the 1-1. Young Rufus is under pressure out wide. JB's Flush behind the leader. Montdenver Gold got off the pegs. And then Country Ways, third quarter in 28. The Fall Guy on the turn from Baltic Eagle. Unique Icon, JB's Flush, Montdenver Gold turning for home. The Fall Guy, Baltic Eagle, Unique Icon. Montdenver Gold gets out. Young Rufus struggles out wide. JB's Flush trying to get through. Challenges are coming. Baltic Eagle grabbed by Montdenver Gold. Smooth Satin late. Montdenver Gold hit the lead. Smooth Satin flying, but Montdenver Gold. Montdenver Gold won the cup and beat Smooth Satin. A great go third. Unique Icon's there. Also close up on the inside, JB's Flush with Baltic Eagle, Wally Walton, Hearts Legend, and then came Young Rufus. Next time, Seals to Sam from the Fall Guy, Past the Mustard, and then Country Ways and Factor Non-Verba, who was knocked out of it early. Final quarter in 28.5.
Righto, more shortly on the Hunter Cup, but the big double tonight for Chris Alford, who's taken out both the Trotters Championship and the Hunter Cup. Let's go to Paul at Wenty for the last.
All set, ready. Racing, and first away, Lifetime Token. Hot Arbs got away well. Rin Tinner's driving through, looking for the lead. Tiger's Courage and Tony Rome not far away. Over on the fence, Uru Magoo, Mannequin Boy. The tail enders were Corborn, Stewie and Hot Arbs heading into the back, and Rin Tin has rocketed away. 10 in front of Tiger's Courage, Uru Magoo. Tony Rome and Mannequin Boy were next, followed by Corborn, Stewie, Lifetime Token and Hot Arbs, but around the corner, and Rin Tin's going to win easily. Rin Tinner's well clear, and Rin Tin won by about a dozen lengths. Tight go for second. Mannequin Boy, Uru Magoo and Tiger's Courage are the 3 involved. They were followed home by Tony Rome, Hot Arbs, Lifetime Token, and ahead of those was Corborn Stewie.
Double for Murray Burton there at Wentworth Park. Rin Tin taking out the last. Pretty close for the minors. 6 might grab second in front of 3, Tiger's Courage, and close up Uru Magoo number 2. We're about to pick up our Canberra coverage. Greyhounds beside the boxes here for race number 8. Now, Unique Icon has grabbed third at Moonee Valley, so 7, 13 and 8. And we'll grab that first 4 number for you shortly. 7, 13 and 8 on the Hunter Cup. Number 12 officially fourth, and that is Baltic Eagle. So 12 officially fourth. Righto, we've got one to go from the Meadows. They're about to move across at Canberra. The Meadows, the last is due in about 3 minutes. No Shame, Twain, Phantom Devil and Rider Bale, our top 4 for the ratings. 2, 4, 1 and 3. Phantom Devil at 7.90. No Shame, 3.40. 11 Rider Bale, 3 for Twain. 6.30 Flash Peter and Russian Oak best of the others. 5, and that was Speedball Bale, so 415 now confirmed. We pick up our Cannington coverage also in about 7 minutes. Newcastle race 8, 3814 Lord Bronson is the top rider, gets his chance to break through tonight.
Ockerosty of the 2 reserves, Obi Haven box 1, Welcome Plain 2, Boomeroo 3, More Reward 4, Tears of Jupiter 5, Arbo's Alarm 6, City of Sydney 7, Magic Grove 8, Waiting List Ockerosty 2 reserves. Getting set now for the final bit. They're almost ready to go. Last semi-final. Last chance to qualify for a start in the Australian Cup. Ready now. They're set. They're racing. No Shame on the inside. Began okay. Away very fast there. Flash Peter's going to lead. No Shame second, followed by Twain third. Going up and around the outsiders. Russian Oak to the back straight and Flash Peter the leader. No Shame second, third the outsiders. Twain 3 or 4 lengths away to Rider Bale from Phantom Devil and then Bewidgy Girl. Russian Oak at the tail end. Rake Salo. Flash Peter lead. 2 lengths clear. Twain after it, followed then by No Shame, who's coming strongly on the outside now. Flash Peter. The rails Twain and down the outsiders. No Shame. Twain got through, takes lead and Twain's won the last from No Shame. Third to be Flash Peter, I'd say, over Phantom Devil and Rider Bale. They were followed by Bewidgy Girl, and back near the tail came Russian Oak and Rake Solo a fair way back.
Yeah, gutsy win by the Western Australian Twain, 340 and 190 over No Shame, 120 and Flash Peter 2 even, 30 and 13 the time, so Twain through to the Australian Cup final. There's Mont Denver Gold after winning the Hunter Cup with Chris Alford aboard. Smooth Satins run a gallant second, and Unique Icon has run a mighty race, one of the rank outsiders in the Cup. The trifecta just over 6,500. Fourth in was Baltic Eagle. They won a rating 22.6, so big step up in class for Mont Denver Gold, but he's a Hunter Cup winner. $400,000 race. Now we've got Newcastle coming up next. Right to pay Twain, No Shame, Flash Peter. That box draw not far from being conducted for the Australian Cup. I can tell you in the Gleeson and Tonta, Obi Haver's drawn the red and Tears.